Good morning. It is Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. It's a holiday. Today is President's Day, so there will be no trading, but I thought I'd recap last week and preview this week. As we look back at last week, we saw a market that was in what we'd call a battle. Stuck in consolidation or congestion, whichever you prefer to look at. The market tried to go lower, it tried to go higher, and in the meantime, it closed within a range. It was so narrow you couldn't slide a piece of paper through it. But interestingly enough, the S&P made its 7th consecutive weekly gain. The NASDAQ narrowly missed. The Russell continues to make new highs, new all-time highs, as do the transports. But an interesting thing happened on the way to another up week last week. The transports actually closed lower on Friday. Just a little bit interesting because that could be a sign of some possible topping action. Now again, we're not going to look and call for a top of the market. We're going to continue to think that the trend is higher, and there is no reason to try to pick a top in the market. We have to, it always comes down to trading the market you have, not the market you want. We're not looking to try to predict what the future direction is. We're going to use the charts to help us determine what we think is the best chance of going in the next direction. So, interesting moves on Friday in gold, got slaughtered. Oil is coming down. So interesting to see how the commodities are starting to give up some of the ghosts, which is, kind of our predictions last week were almost exactly what happened to the market. Now, it's not that we're trying to predict. I just like to kind of foresee and look at what the tape action looks like. But at this point, the trend remains higher. There is no reason to try to fight this market or look to create the top. We want to continue to watch and observe and try to find good levels. Remember, look for weak stocks to sell and strong stocks to buy. Looking forward into this week, I would expect more of the same action. The action itself is still, an upward market. Now this week we do have a lot of news that could drive, and we'll talk about the news on Wednesday, because that's the big news day. But we've got FOMC this week, we've got PPI, and we've got CPI, and we've got leading economic indicators, and Philadelphia Fed. So you have to take this into consideration, but the bottom line is you have to follow the trend and follow the charts in which you're looking at. The important thing to note is don't get caught up in what the fundamental news is, what's going on around it, because it doesn't matter. What matters is what are the charts telling you to do. Right now the charts are getting tighter and tighter. Now we know that there's going to be a very large move, we just don't know when, and we're not interested in trying to figure out when. What we're interested in is reacting when the move goes our way. Now the advantage of a market tightening like it is that we can get in much quicker once it breaks either to the upside or whether it breaks the downside. It doesn't matter. We can jump in and jump aboard now because the ranges are very narrow. The days trading are very narrow, so it makes it much easier for us as traders to look at. So we'll look for that. Now this week we're going to cover what it's like to be a trader and some other information. Bubba's picks, the new charting system, the way that we're monitoring the trades has worked out rather well. We'll continue to do so. Remember, if you need anything, please email me at todd@adammesh.com. I'd love to help you out if you'd like me to cover anything on the show. For Monday, have a great day off if you're trading. We'll see you on Tuesday, The Bubba Show.